Hello and welcome to video 9 of our sashimi tutorial series. This video is just an update to the previous 8 videos with the release of Sashimi 6.5 beta and future versions. I've put this video up here. Anything said within this video will supersede any of the previous videos that we've worked with. So let's go ahead and jump right into some of the new features. The first thing with this new version of Sashimi is I've updated it to the latest version of Mort script, which is 4.1.1.7. This version is available on the Mort script site. It's actually still in beta, but it has some nice useful features which I wanted to take advantage of for Sashimi. The main feature is the ability to display more comprehensive diagnostics or status messages, and we're going to see that right as I start Sashimi up here. As Sashimi starts up, you'll see that there's a diagnostic screen. I have the pause set to a few seconds for each diagnostic screen. This is configurable within Sashimi. So if you don't want to see these screens at all, or you don't want any delay after they complete, you can change that within the Sashimi settings, diagnostic settings right here. So I'll go ahead and I'll change my startup delay back to 0. So if we start Sashimi again, it will go much quicker without that pause. So let's go ahead and real quickly I'm going to just run an auto install so you can see how the diagnostic messages and status messages look different in the new versions of Sashimi. So we'll see that before, where we didn't exactly know what was going on in the background when Sashimi was running, here we see a full detailed analysis when Sashimi is enumerating files in directories, or actually doing the installations of files. So here during the cab phase, we show each cab is shown to us as it's being installed. And once those are done, the storage card cabs will go, and then the reg files and the XML files and the scripts, just like a normal auto install phase. Everything behind the scenes is the same, but the way it's displayed to you, the user, is more detailed now. And you'll see the cancel button at the bottom. If you hit that cancel button, it will actually quit Sashimi entirely. So if you're in the middle of an auto install phase and you want to quit, you can use that cancel button and that will get you right out of Sashimi. So here are our reg files finished getting installed, our XML files provisioned, the root files and the script files get copied and run, and then our auto phase is complete. I'm not going to go ahead and reset it here, but I am going to start Sashimi up again, and you'll see this time the diagnostic messages go much quicker because I took the delay off. And here we are right in Sashimi. And again, you can turn those diagnostics off entirely if you don't want them. Disable startup diags. There we go. Okay. So, what else can we look at here? Well, if we go into our settings menu, you'll see that I now added the ability to manage settings files. And this allows you to have more than one set of configuration settings for Sashimi. And this was a requested feature in the forums. So once I go in and I set up all my features, my UC settings, my paths, my auto paths, my manual paths, I can then go ahead and save that to a new file. I'll go ahead and I'll call this the settings2 file. And now I have two different settings files. I can go ahead and load whichever settings file I want, settings1 or settings2, to easily switch between configuration settings. And this is also supported by a command line option, which is available in the documentation. So real quick, moving out of that and over to the tools category. Pretty much things are the same in here. We're going to look at a new option under the additional tools. All right, this is the custom links ini file. So custom links ini file has been around since the last version, and now it supports the wildcard parameter. So in the previous version, you could only put in an entry like these two here, which would say the regedit cab gets its shortcuts placed in programs registry tools, and the kevtris cab doesn't get a shortcut created. Well, now the wildcard is supported, and what this entry says is any cab file beginning with RE gets its shortcuts created in programs tools, and any any cab that doesn't match any of these others listed in the link file gets its shortcuts installed to programs other stuff. Now, it is the most restrictive that takes precedence, so in this example, this file here, regedit, even though it matches the wildcard and RE star, because it begins with RE, it still will get installed to, or its shortcut installed to programs registry tools, because it is more specific. So the wildcard feature is new. Another thing new with custom links ini is it can be a little tedious to create this file. So I've gone ahead and allow you to create a custom links ini file right from within Sashimi. You can either overwrite what's there or append to it. We'll go ahead and append. So you choose the folder that you want to enumerate for cabs, and then you choose the location that you want to create the shortcuts. It has to be a location underneath Windows Start menu. We'll just do it underneath Programs here, which is the default location anyway. I'm just using this for an example. So we see it enumerates through that directory, finding all the cabs. And once it's created and we view our custom links ini file, we'll see that in addition to the entries that were there before, we have all these new entries that have been created. And I can either go in and manually edit these if I want to tweak a few, or if I have to do some more comprehensive editing and maybe I drag it over to my PC. But this gives you a basic skeleton file to go ahead and edit. And the last thing that I'm going to show you real quick is there has been a feature that was requested. Let's go into the manual phase, and this is when you're installing or executing exe files. So normally if I run this exe file, which is to set your background using a task file or a TSK file, it's just going to run by itself with no parameters. Well, I've created a new ini file called exe params, and basically the format of this file is the exe file you want to define and the command line parameter you want to define for that file. And so what this means is any time when Sashimi runs this custsk.exe, whether it's an auto phase or manual phase, it will append to it this parameter, in this case to load the green TSK file. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and I will run custsk, and you will see that my background will get set to green, which is the parameter defined. So it's as simple as that. Well, those are the major new features of Sashimi 6.5 beta and onward. Hope you enjoyed it. Please download and play with it. Give me any feedback. I'll be releasing the official updated version soon. And until then, have a good one.